So, he was where you left me last episode, I believe. And we're back again. Cooler and cloudier day. Not as good as yesterday. So, today's plan, finish the last 2 joist hangers that Mick went to fetch. And then put on, or cut the fern strips, put them on, put the noggins in, and then put the first lot of plywood on, which is the 3/4 ply. And then what we'll do then is we'll seal it all up, put some plastic on it. We're waiting for the materials to turn up, the vapour barrier and what have you. So that's the plan. So I'll get the gear out. Mick's gone to fetch the sandwich because it's Sandwich Thursday. And we'll crack on.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old eyes. And my crooked little heart that seems so rebellious is falling apart right now. I'm bleeding an easy kill.
Okay, so time lapse over. Like it or hate it. We're trying to keep everybody happy, but at the minute it seems that we're upsetting a couple of people still. Noggin's done. Noggin there, perimeter, noggin, because it's 600 centres. Centre of board, and then that far last little bit there. Unfortunate, but there we go. Put the joist hangers on, the last 2 joist hangers there and there. They're done. Now, I'm going to cut the furrings. I'll cut them to length first, out these timbers. And then we'll do a 55mm to 5mm. And we'll stick them on the top. And then stick the ply on top of that. So, all we're going to do now is we're going to cut some fern strips. Now, we've decided to do 55mm to 5mm over the span of 2985. Now, I have done a video on working it all out and how to cut your own fern strips already. So that's on the screen now for you. And I did that probably 18 months ago. That gives you the maths and everything. But in effect, what it basically says is the rule of thumb is the fall is 1 in 40 to achieve 1 in 80. I'll just do 1 in 80 because I'm happy that when I cut them, I put my ply on, it's going to be 1 in 80. Rightly or wrongly, I don't know. But so have a look at that video. That tells you set it all out. But what I'm going to do in this instance, rather than doing the track saw or the table saw like I did on my last video, I'm just going to pull a string line and just run it through by eye because I've only got 6 to cut. So it seems a bit silly to start setting big saws and things up for the sake of this, but have a look at that video. If you've got more to do, doing yourself a pattern, it works out a lot quicker, a lot better. So we'll crack on with this, and then next bit of footage you see after this one, this is a little bit of a time lapse I think for you, and then we'll show you installation, and then where we go with regards putting ply on and setting centres and things. So let's get on with it.
What you said just want the company of anyone. That's why I'm sleeping with the TV on. I just want the company of anyone. That's why I'm sleeping with the TV on. Do you still call my name? Sometimes in your dreams. Do you still feel the same? Do you still call my name? Sometimes in your dreams. Do you still feel the same? I just want the company of anyone. That's why I'm sleeping with the TV on. I just want the company of
So what you've seen me doing there now is notching the bottom of the fern strip, which when I go up there and show you will be more obvious. Oh, you might be able to see it from here actually. What I did was, because I used a 9x2 there and 8x2, get the big finger, that didn't work. So I use a 9x2 double C24 and then 8x2 C16. So there's a discrepancy of 25mm or so, as you can just see it there, where from sort of that point down. So what I've done is, so when my fern strip goes, it'll go all the way to the back and touch the insulation at the point, if you remember that bit at the back there, all the way down. So that's what I've just done. But at this point, I'd like to say a thank you again to Trend. Now, they sent us as well as a few other things that I haven't had a chance to even mention yet. They sent us these. Now, we discussed several things with a gentleman called Sam at Trend, and we told him what we were doing, and we said what we use at the moment in time, and he sent us some rail clamps. Now, these are probably the most substantial ones I've seen. Have you?
They're very good.
They're good, aren't they?
They are good.
Now, we've used them for clamping in general, but these are that substantial. We can afford to do that. I mean, some of the rail clamps, I've got a two myself and I like them, but you couldn't use them for this extreme. These have been fantastic. And also, the footage you can see now is me using the Trend honing, I think it's called the honing jig. I'll put it on the screen here if I'm wrong. And I got talking to Sam again about the upset I am to my father, who's also a joiner and carpenter, that for some reason, it's my Achilles heel, that I can't sharpen a chisel, hit and miss. So this hone stone will help me out. So again, thank you very much to Sam. Right then, so we'll now put these on top of there, and then we'll get that 3/4 ply and put it on top of the fern strips on top of there. So should we do that? So the fern strips are all set on now. Put a bit of adhesive over the notch, and that's what the notch is for. So it goes out over there like that. Because I want to use a 9x2 just for more structure, because I'm hanging joists off it, and they're C24 as well. So there, we've got to put some bolts in there as well. That's one thing I've noticed I haven't done. Right then, lost my train of thought now. So what we're doing now is, again, this is all thinking about what you're going to try and not have a massive fascia, like a 450 fascia. So we're sort of aiming for that, which is the same as next door then. About 300 fascia. All we're going to do now, I've got one of Ad's profiles again, which is always handy. Sat it across our furrings, and I've measured down now from there to the brick, which is 45mm. I've done the same at this end, which is 99mm from there down to there. Now what we're going to do is cut 2 more furrings now, 45 to 99, one that end, one this end, and then we'll clean this. You might see on the footage actually, I'll just clean this off with a brick to make get all the snots off and make it flat. So we'll clean this off now, give it a brush to de-dust it, that's a word. And then we've got some external adhesive. We'll stick it down to there then. When we put our ply over, it'll support the ply from there to there. And then this bit of timber that you'll see, the furring, will then be used to fix the bottom of the plywood to, which is then going to carry the capping board for the fascia. So there we are, a bit of a dual roll. The only other thing we've got left to do now is we've got to cut these off to suit, which I think, looking at that, yeah, that brickwork's perfect. Nice and line, so I'll just cut those off to the face of the brickwork now, I think. So we'll put the boards on, and then we'll come from this one that way, and from this one that way, and then be good to go. That's what we'll do now. We'll get the yard time lapse back on once we've got these what's in place, and we'll start putting the decking down.
I know that you're trying, the bus is complaining, your phone's always ringing. Outside there's the cold wind, inside the monotony. Baby, we need an exit from this. Honey, we need that sweet release. I know we will feel them, the electric feelings, you and me all night. Yeah, be alright. If you close your eyes, so close your eyes, feel the sunlight. Baby, we'll fly to Madrid. Wanna get away one night or two. Madrid, go outside, forget me and you. Fall in love 1 time, 2 times, 300 times. Wanna get far away, boy, I'm tired of the rainy days. Now I got you warmed up, tell me you see it, Andalusian dancing, Spanish living, so we believe in, absorbed by the feeling. Baby, we need an exit from this. Honey, we need that sweet release. Baby, we need an exit from this. Honey, we need that sweet release. To Madrid, wanna get away one night or two. Madrid, go outside, forget me.
Right, what Mick's doing now is just cutting the last 2 boards we have, because I've cocked up and ordered 4 sheets and I should have had 5. But if we spin round, what I can do is I can tell you that we're going to get that one in and we're going to get that one in. So we're actually short about 1600 by 535, which is a bit of a pain. But we have gone ahead and put our bolts in as well, as you can see. Bolted and washed in there. Got them in no problem, up and down. They're 80mm M12 coach screws. So I'm happy with that. Solid. That is not going anywhere. Don't care what anyone says. That's going nowhere. So yes, like I said, we'll get that on now. We'll span that joint with the next one to there, and it's just that we'll have to do when we come back. However, we have got to put in some more ply anyway to do the upstand to catch the back of the fascia. And if I don't know if I'd explained it already, so if I have, I'll cut this out anyway. But if I haven't, that's what I've done now. Is I run my profile across there, got this height, sat that on the brickwork, gunked it on, and then that is just to support this ply across there. That's all it does. And because it's what I did was I cut it a mil big higher than here. So me fixing this down to here then forces that to try and straighten out, if you like, the plywood, and then forces that down flat, and that's just gunked onto there. And if you can see, I can't lift that up. It can't be lifted. But that just gives you then also a bit of strength. Keeps this flat, to the same pitch as the rest of the roof. And also that's now backing for the plywood that will come up here. So the insulation will go on there now, 150. And the plywood will come up there like that. Screwed into this timber. And then when the ply goes on the top, I'll run the 12mm ply across the top and screw into the end of the ply going up the face. So what we got then is like a plywood, OSB plywood box like that, and then the capping goes on, capping board face, it goes on top of that. That's how we're going to do it. That's the best way I think we can do it, to try and eliminate a huge 450, 500mm fascia. I've seen it done with a perimeter 6x2, but the only way you're going to fix your 6x2 now is to fix it onto there, down from the top into there, and I don't want to do that. So that's how we're going to do it. So I'll let Mick do that. We'll put these last two on, and then that'll be us for the day then, other than a good tidy up. Right then. Okay, so we've had a bit of a hint of rain coming. Luckily, last nail went in, started to spot, but it stopped again. So we've covered it in a bit of crappy plastic we got on site, because it's got to sit for a day or so now, which will be fine. There's a little bit of a hole in it over here somewhere, but that's it. Screwed it all the way down and put some boards on it, so that's it for us now. We'll come back. We'll do the remainder of it, of the roof. Won't we, Mick?
Maybe.
Pardon?
Maybe.
Okay. It might be me on my own then. As always, from me and Michael down there, maybe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.